Hello one and all, this is a short kind of tutorial video on the build versions asset for Carta Games. This is something we've made recently as one of our assets that we found useful at work. Most because it's just annoying updating build numbers, so this is what kind of asset does. I'm going to make this kind of video rather informal in the sense that I'm kind of just doing it casually, so explain, there'll be chapters in the bottom in the description and stuff, so if you want to skip to a certain point in the video, feel free. Starting off, obviously this is the store page, it has all the info you need to know about the asset and anything else you need to know there. With promo vids and stuff, so when you start you add it to my assets, I already have it, so I need to do that, so I'm going to hop onto Unity. Inside Unity, this is just a random project I've been working on for a bit of fun, probably not going to turn anything, but I'm hoping to make a game eventually next year. So we're going to go into another package manager, and into my assets if you aren't already in it. Log in if you haven't already logged in, and you should find build versions if you added it correctly. If you didn't, just go back to Unity Asset Store, make sure you added it, and make sure you're logged in, etc, etc. And then just hit import, it will give you a little pop-up, just hit import. And then wait for the editor to reload. This won't take very long because it's quite a small asset compared to other assets we have. Once imported, you have to do nothing. At this point you are essentially free to go. You have the asset installed, it's all ready to go. But I'm going to go over a bit more detail on what everything does just so you know. So when you first build, it will automatically generate a build information and a build versions operating settings thingy. You can add these yourself either by going to right click, create Carta Games build versions and then go from there. Or you can go into tools, build versions and then hit settings. Hitting that settings button will automatically generate these two things. These are scriptable objects which you can access anywhere in the game. You won't need to access the options one at all. This is just settings for this little edge of the window here. The build information one, however, you can access anywhere you like and it has the information you actually need. So this stores the type, date and build number. The build number is always going to be unique. However, obviously if you're using version control with multiple members of the team, you might have to kind of have a build branch that has the actual build number updated. Otherwise you're going to get a bit muddled up, but other than that it should be good. So over on the settings itself, you have the option to enable or disable the asset. I recommend obviously you disable it when you're making a build for multiple platforms at once, and enable it when you're not. You have two versions of the upload type. You have any build or successful builds. Any build will essentially do it when you hit the build button exactly when you press it. So if your build fails for some reason, it will still update the number. And the successful option only builds when the build is actually completed. Obviously the downside to this, currently we haven't added it into the asset, but we will do hopefully in the future update, is it will need to be updated by 1. So by default the number is actually 1. Please make sure if you're changing between any, it should go down by 1, and you go to successful should be up by 1. So if you're on the wrong version, make sure you just add or minus 1 to your build number, otherwise you'll get a build number that's slightly out of date. Next option is systematic build and versioning number. This essentially allows you to edit the player settings. So if you go into player settings, so just number here, it's the version number. It will work on any platform that is supported by Unity in theory. We haven't tested all of them because we can't test them all, but it should work. So this will essentially update it for you whenever you're making a build, and that means the number is correct. It always updates the patch or build version, but the actual minor and major you have to do manually. You can just update them manually if you like, or you can go to build versions, version number, and then increment major and minor from here, as well as the build number if you like. Our options here have the type, so you can set the type to anything you like. This can be, these are the most normal generic ones you will want to use, or you can just literally write something like here, like hello. And that is, I can't even spell today, blimey. I can't spell hello, that's embarrassing. So hello, and that's essentially just the type it is, or you can just go into the tools like I said there, and hit that, and it updates it. So that's just a string value, you can hit anything you like. Who knows, it's up to you, you can be creative. Next is a date, that automatically sets when if you make a build. If you something doesn't update, or anything like that, you can just go into date and hit set to today, and that will set it up to today's date. Note, obviously this will change if depending on what kind of PC you want. So if you're on like an American instance, it'll be your style rather than the UK style like it is from my one. So that will obviously depend on the type. And the build number also updates when you make a build. So you have also got an extra option which isn't visible in this version because I haven't actually changed platform. I could try to switch platform quickly and show you it. I'll see if I can get it. No, I haven't got Android still in this version. So if you're on Android though, you have an extra option which allows you to change the bundle code with people as well, which is just handy if you're making an Android build and you forget to make bundle code changes because they always are annoying. You can make a build and upload it and it doesn't work. Anyway, that's most of it. So yeah, pretty much that is the asset. So a few things you can do though, is you can make a display that shows this information. So I'm going to quickly just make one to kind of example it because otherwise there isn't an example of it. I'm going to go to UI canvas. I'm going to make it scale correctly because otherwise it's terrible. I don't know who uses constant. And we're going to add a text info element just to make it, and we're going to say build info here. I'm going to quickly make a script called build info display. and open up in Rider, in my case. If you might have Visual Studio or something else, whatever code editor you have. I've got Rider because I have it for work. So I'm going to let this work quickly. Come on, computer, you can load. It's not very quick. I'll get back to you when it loads. So there you go, it's loading. Doesn't like this sometimes. I don't know why it's complaining about rusting it. So once it's loaded, I'm going to quickly do. So now we're in Rider, in my case. It's still processing assemblies and stuff. It takes a moment to do it. There we go. So I'm just going to make it basically, we need to reference that text that we just made. I'm going to do TMP text version, I like it that way. So I'm going to call it display. I'm going to then go in awake and set that as a reference. So I'm going to get component TMP text. And I'm going to send it to that info, but for that info we're going to need to get it. So I'm going to do it as a field because I like it this way. So essentially what you're getting is the build information. It's in the Card Games assets build versions thing. You can also get build increment time as well, or something else, which is essentially just the option of any build or accessible builds. Don't need to actually access that anywhere, it's just in the code. So we're going to go build information. I'm going to go build information. And then we can get this first function like. So display could be, for instance, say you want to say the number and the date, or even the date, the type, date and number, I don't know. I'm going to put all three in for the sake of just showing that it will work. So I'm just going to do a concatenable string. I'm going to just do build information dot build type, and then do like a kind of brace, and then do build information dot build number. But I'm just going to add the word build in front of that, and hashtag, because why not? Makes it look cooler. And then we're going to do another one, which is this build information dot date, and we're going to put that in brackets, because why not? And I have not done this correctly because I've not put the text there. Lucky mistake. So that is actually all one line, but Rider likes concatenating lines. There you go. That will essentially update that value when we first play the game. So I'm going to hop into the game now and just show you that. I'm going to also update this text element to be longer than it is currently, because otherwise it would be terrible. Let's just make it scale on full screen. We hit play. And we have not linked it, haven't we? No, we'll need it. Make sure we link the asset first of all, and then hit play. And ta-da! So it says prototype build number 1 and says today's date. Simple as that. So obviously this is mostly useful for when you want to show it on display. As a script object you can put it anywhere you like. It's quite nice in that aspect. So if you want to put it on some UI in somewhere and want it like separate from scenes, you just reference the script object. It's nice and easy. So just up to that build number updates, we notice now it's build number 1. I'm going to hit just quickly build on this project. It might complain because I haven't done this in a while. Let's make a folder for build. Yes, and call it build. And no, it shouldn't take long because there's not much in this project. Let's wait for Unity to build this. It's going to be very quick and simple. Note that there's no reason to input when you're making a build from actually updating the number, it does it by itself. So I'm going to spend a pipeline, it's going to take ages to do the shader thingy, so we'll wait a bit for the build to make happen. This will take a moment. If not too long. It is building. Yay, there it goes, build. We'll notice we have a bit of build, and we go to build information. It's 2. Oh, it's changed number. So now we know it's changed number, we can go to bit play again. And number says 2. Simple as that. Build number is updated. So if we were to go back down to the any build type, we'll have to change that number down to 1 manually. And if we were to go to the only type again from the any build information type, we'll have to go to 3 or 2 again, whatever it is. But yeah, that is pretty much the entire asset, and there's the build if you're wondering where it is. So yeah, hope that helps you understand what the asset is about, how it works. If you have any questions, feel free to check in the description or in the Card Games Discord. We have our own channel for it, which I'm going to quickly show on screen now, because why not? It is here. Build information, build versions. You can chat about it here directly, or just in general if you like. I get a lot of people just hop in and quickly ask a question and then leave. It's what we hope in this channel. But yeah, I hope that video was kind of helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.